So just ask me anything Monday. So you can ask me anything. Just make sure it's family friendly. But yeah, ask me anything Monday. Ice Cream Man has already spun the block, even though it's not that warm. I mean, it's not that cold either. It's like 68 degrees. Uh, I think it got up to like 69 maybe at at the sun zenith, but not exactly ice cream weather. And I do want to get ice cream because apparently you don't. They take cards now. You don't need cash. They'll take cards, but they also charge too damn much. The amount for the cost of getting ice cream, like a popsicle or something from an ice cream truck, I could just buy like a quart. I could buy a pint or a quart of ice cream at the grocery. And I think because there's two guys in my neighborhood that sell ice cream, and I think one of them rips the kids off. At least my niece told me that. I remember, and this was just 5 years ago, so I imagine it's probably even more now. No, five, yeah, five, yeah, about 5 years ago. I sent her to to get me ice cream. I gave her money. I was like, buy me a popsicle and get something for yourself. And she came back and bought with the popsicle. I was like, why didn't you get yourself anything? She was like, cause he charged me $5 for this popsicle. I'm like, wait, what? $5 for the popsicle? I'm like, I remember when these things used to be like 75 cents. I know I'm I'm like, I know I'm probably looking at it, like from 40 years ago. So, but still, no, he was ripping them off. Like, because my sister, her mom was like, no, that she was like, the Indian guy be ripping the kids off if they don't come up there with their parents. I'm like, so nah. What's up, Colton? So I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Um, because I was tempted when I heard it like literally like 5 minutes ago. I was like, oh, ice cream man, because I was actually in the middle of a text, and I told someone, oh, I hit an ice cream man. They start laughing, and it's like, enjoy your ice cream. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I was like, I'm just going to get some at the grocery store next time I go because I like ice. I don't want popsicles. I want ice cream, and my favorite is cookies and cream. So probably gonna get that. Some cookies and cream. And I think my favorite back in the day used to be Briars. What's up, everyone in the chat room? But I'm back anyway. Sorry. I was typing something. I think I don't know if when I go off, you guys can still see my image. I think you can. I just cut my hair for you guys. No, I didn't cut it for you guys. I cut it for me. I love my keeping my hair short, even during the winter. So um, I'm thinking I cut it Saturday. No, it was either Saturday or Sunday, and now I can't remember how much is gas where you're at. I haven't even checked. I haven't checked because FYI, I don't have a car because with me traveling, I don't want the burden of having a car since I plan on moving back overseas and buying a vehicle there. I don't need vehicles on two different sides of the world, one in Asia and one here in America. So whenever I need to drive, I will just get an Uber or a Lyft to do something. Oh, what do I do? So I do lead generation and direct marketing. Lando says, "Can you follow me?" I'm on a live stream. I can't follow anyone right now. Jason says, "Hello, USA of America." That's redundant, but I get it. Someone says, "Am I a good boy?" No, not at all. Not a boy. Definitely not good. Um, Jason says, Wisconsin as of today when I took my walk, gas gas is $3.72 a gallon. Man, it starts making you think maybe you should get like a, when the prices start being ridiculous, it starts making you think maybe I should get an electric vehicle or a hybrid vehicle. um, Too bad we never got those hydrogen cars. Remember they were going to do uh, what was that? The hydrogen cars, whatever. Anyway, Real Floor Tie, you have 3 days to get a lot of likes to get 100 likes. Timer starts now. I mean, that is up to the gods of the algorithm. My plan is to get 10,000 subs. That's what I need. I don't. I want the 10,000 subs. The likes I'll take later. I will take your subs. Please give me your subs. Give. I will take your likes as well. Don't get me wrong. Please like the video, the stream, and my other videos. But also, if you guys instead of likes, hit the hype button. They they haven't rolled this out everywhere, but if you do have it, lower tier content creators such as myself, people under for funny thing is for YouTube, anyone under 500,000 subs is considered a lower tier content creator, which is amazing because most people, if they hit 100,000 subs, for them they have made it, because it's so much harder on YouTube than say like on a platform like TikTok, um, or Instagram. But if for a lot of folks, if they hit 100,000 subs, they've made it. But for the purposes of YouTube, any content creator under 500,000 subs is a lower tier creator. So anyone from 0 to 500,000. Um, and as a result, there's a new feature called the hype button. So if you guys don't mind, hit the hype. If you see a hype button for this video, for this live stream, please hit the hype button. That would do phenomenal favors because there is a ranking system with the hype uh, button that the more the more people have their content hyped by viewers, they will be they will have their content shared more by the YouTube algorithm, which can help them actually grow their platform. So if you guys don't mind, uh, I do appreciate the likes and the follows, but if you do see that hype button, please press that. Some of you won't see a hype button because it hasn't been rolled out um, wherever you're using YouTube. But if you do see it, please press that. I appreciate it a lot. E298 third E2980 says it's 5 point is excuse me $5.80 in Southern California. That sounds about right. Southern California. Luckily, I would think a lot of people in Southern California have Teslas. Well, yeah, they did when they used to like Elon. Then once they found out he was a libertarian uh, and supported Trump, they all like tried to burn their Teslas. Good luck with that, but you know, run. I might have to put my glasses on. That'll make it easier for me, and I don't care about the teasing. I'll take the teasing over squinting because some people just have wild usernames. Run Memmy Fade 225 says, "Do you remember how I have feces all over me?" No, I don't, because I don't talk with retarded people, and your mother should have swallowed you, instead of letting your father run that up in there. Anyway, uh, Hambone says, why do black women eat cornstarch? I don't know. It's for the same reason your mother eats dicks. Uh, E2983 says, we have some hydrogen cars in Cali. Yeah, I was like, I thought so. They did. I was like, I know I'm not mistaken. So they did release hydrogen cars. So I was like, they just don't get too much. They're not marketed well, right? Because at one point I thought the Prius, even though it was like a hybrid car, I thought it was like half gas, half hydrogen, not, but it's half electric. I think the Prius. So I'm not sure. Um, CHGO1221 says, were you in the military? Yeah, I was. Um, Renee Armstrong says, wave your hand for $10. How about I wave this dick in your mouth for $0? East 2983 says, not hydrogen gas stations. Yeah. Def 25-G3D says, somebody asked me if we are made of 70% water, why do we bleed blood? Okay, so both either you or he is retarded, so can't answer you there. Obviously, you didn't pass 10th grade biology. E29 Thursday enough. Jimmy Dean 77 says, do you like white people? I don't have a problem with them. I don't I don't dislike people based on their race. I dislike people based on um, how they treat me or others. So that's that's how I judge people. Oh, and I also judge them by their intelligence or lack thereof. By the content of the character, not by the color of their skin, sort of thing. You know, that whole that rubric. It's just hope 194 says, I hope you find all the joy you seek in this life and so much more. As do you. Thank you. Scarby says, yo, what's up, Unc? Chilling. Chilling like a villain. Some troll asked me how many inches, bro. Ask your mother. But she never got to the center of the Tootsie Pop. She only choked down but so much before she could, So, but ask your mother, LOSG4294, how many inches. Maybe she'll reveal how much she got before it hit her uvula. Jimmy Dean says, can you just say you like people then? You didn't ask me that. You could have just asked, do you like all people? And I would have said, yeah, provided they're not, you know, certain unlikable folks. You asked the question, I answered it. I'm not going to give more of an answer than the question that was given. An answer can only be as good as the question. Jim Jones says, I'm not giving you money. I don't care. I mean, your mother already gave up the ass, so what more can you ask? Well, actually, the ass wasn't too good. First of all, she needs to trim it up a little bit, trim the hedges. I mean, I don't mind the little hair down there, but god damn, that shit, the hair went all the way down to her knees, bro. Tell your mom to trim that shit up. She don't have a bikini, she has a fukini. And you saying learn some damn manners? Shut the fuck up, you neurodivergent, retarded, autistic bitch. Get the fuck off my get the fuck off my stream. I'm the host. Get the fuck off, monkey. If you didn't like it, you shouldn't have came in here trolling. You came here trolling, and your bitch ass got roasted. Now you're in your feelings because you're a little faggot. Fuck out of here. If you can't take it, don't troll. If you little faggot Gen Z motherfuckers can't take the roast, Don't start with the trolling. Y'all fucking with Gen X. Y'all need to find out about Gen X. We roasted people for fun as kids. So you guys can't handle it because you're a bunch of low testosterone, low IQ, little faggots with fingernail polish on your fucking fingers and blue hair and septum piercings and shit. Don't troll don't troll the host of the live stream if you don't want to get roasted, especially if he's Gen X. We're about that life. We're not millennials, and we're not one of you little Gen Z faggots. Gen X, you need to learn about us. Go do yourself a favor and Google. No, matter of fact, go to a YouTube video and find out about Gen X, and you'll realize why we don't give a fuck about your feelings, and we never have, and we never will. Jimmy Dean says, then can you just say like white people instead of saying you don't have a problem with them? Again, you posed the question, bro. So it's weird. Like I think you're Jimmy Dean. Are you on the spectrum? You sound like you're on the spectrum, bro. Because why you why are you critiquing something that you asked, dummy? Like you asked, did I have a problem with with white people? I said no. So you want me to spell out my love for white people? I don't worship anyone. So if you want me to be like, oh yeah, massa is so great, nah, nigga, shut the fuck up, get the fuck out of here, Jimmy Dean 77. Like you posed a fucking inarticulate question and you got an inarticulate answer. Maybe you should study better back in high school and learn better grammar and language arts and that sort of thing. I know that's hard for some of you Gen Z people since you don't read, but reading will improve your cognitive ability. Chicken nugget persons, chicken. The stream is a ask me anything format, so people can just ask me questions. The nerve of some little faggot talking about there are some manners when he literally came in here trolling. Like the audacity of this retard. Yes, I'm bragging about Gen X because we're better than you motherfuckers. He said, dumbass, just quit. All you do is be mean to people. He came in here trolling, dumbass. You didn't see the initial thing that he said. He literally came in here trolling. So I put him on blast. Again, if you come in here trolling the host, then you're going to get roasted. If you don't want to get roasted, then don't fuck with Gen X. So take your little soft Gen Z little faggot back bending ass getting dick by your father somewhere else. Oh, you're not rolling? I can make you. Boom, just like that. Bye, bitch. Yeah, I don't put up with little neurodivergent people. I think if you have minor brain damage that you suffer ADHD, autism spectrum disorder, um, Tourette syndrome, those sort of things, you need to stay the fuck off social media because you obviously have no verbal or behavioral filter, and no one's and other people are not obliged to put up with your erratic behavior out of consideration for your mental problems. Jimmy Dean says you say the F slur, but you sound kind of feminine. Oh, I sound feminine because I can speak proper English. You're just a fucking retard, and you can go too. Ralph Sanders says roast marshmallows. Say what you say at a gay pride parade, or go get a microwave. That's a roast Gen X for live. I I gotta parse that. Like what? Ralph Center dash X3D said, roast marshmallows say what you said at a gay pride parade, or go get a microwave that's a roast Gen X. I'm sorry, I can't even parse that. You calling people retard? Yes, I'm calling people retards like people like you. Broncos underscore prods 88. You're a fucking retard. And I thought I got rid of you, dumbass. I mean, but just to make sure, yeah, okay, I did. Stacy Haywood 353 says you hate Burger King. No, I don't. Where you get that from? I hate Burger King. I gotta. Let me school you, little young whippersnapper. Got a little Burger King crown right here, right next to my my Happy Meal stuff. Because I'm equal opportunity fast food. As long as I can get the cheese off of it. Dude say I can see why you're single. You got real anger issues. I'm not even mad. I'm roasting people. If you're idiots like you, Mike Dash X4 X60, can't establish the difference between roasting someone and being mad. I can roast people without being mad. That's what roasting is about, which we used to call snapping or cracking or uh, cracking, snapping, joning, bussing, playing the dozens, all that sort of thing. This this started with Gen X, and we're better at it than all of you. I'm not mad, and I'm not single. I literally have a wedding band on it right here. I'm about to celebrate my ninth wedding anniversary this year, faggot. So go suck a dick like your father and your mother. They're very good dick suckers, a whole line of them, stemming all the way back to the Middle Ages. Slace says, "How do I deal with a bully?" Depends on what type of bully. Are we talking about a verbal bully or a physical bully? If you're talking about a physical bully, get in shape. Okay, get in shape. That's the first thing. People who are fit don't get picked on. That's first of all. So if you're not physically fit, you need to get physically fit. Then you need to enroll in some sort of combat sport, not traditional martial arts. I love traditional martial arts, but when you need traditional martial arts takes too long, has too long of a learning curve before it becomes effective in self defense. Take a combat sport, Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, um, Sambo, if you can find Sambo, or these are all effective combat sports. Go, join a gym. So if you can find a gym, some MMA gym, Muay Thai gym, boxing gym, kickboxing gym, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu gym, do that. Within 3 months, you'll be able to handle that bully physically. If you're talking about a verbal bully, then you're gonna have to just get up your. You're gonna have to become more quick witted and savvy, and be able to roast and fry people who bully you, like I just did with these trolls. That's what you do with them. Video Game of 13 says, "Let me out of the basement." Well, that's between you and your uncle. Mike says, "Wash your mouth out with salt." Why don't you wash your mouth out with all that cum I've just put in your mouth, bitch? Is it y'all like your glasses, by the way? Thank you. Is it Ella Arrington? These are just standard reading glasses you get at the market in the little pharmacy section. They're not even, prescription or anything. They're just the basic reading glasses. Ben Ryan says, "What's the argument today?" No argument. This is just ask me anything, and I'm got a bunch of trolls that got roasted and they can't handle it. Who wins the Iran war? Um, it depends on what you mean by winning. If you just mean by sheer military might and strategy, of course, America and Israel. However, this can be this can drag on and become a quagmire like the Iraq war, even worse, the Afghanistan war. We don't want that. Um, Technically, it's not a war yet, but it's getting to that level where it may become a full fledged war if we do send in those ground troops because we have already the government has already sent in the Army 101st Division and the Marine Expeditionary Forces to the Middle East, although they haven't sent them to the Strait of Hormuz yet. But if the ground troops enter into the foray, then it would be hard to not argue that this is not a full escalation of war. But I am confident that we would win. We have the best military in the world. We don't have the biggest, we have the best. China has the biggest, but they're but from far from the best. Thank you, Ellis. She says to Mike, shut up. No one asked if you're going to be rude and like, for real, shut up. No one likes you, for real. Exactly. Exactamundo. What's his live about? Again, to CPTC AY Kid One. Just this is my Ask Me Anything format. Sometimes I do topics. Sometimes I do Ask Me Anything format because oftentimes when I do a Ask Me, sorry, sometimes when I do a topic, no one will participate in the topic. So I'll balance that out by doing the Ask Me Anything to keep things interesting interesting to people who just want to ask random things. Car- uh, Carl and Carlin Carlin YTC 7431 says verbal bully one punch it sorted. Yeah, but that gets messy because if I'm not one of those martial arts coaches that say you can't strike someone until they strike you. You can strike first. However, the person has to provoke it first. Like simply saying, simply the person simply insulting you is not enough of a provocation for you to hit them. It has to be escalated to the point where you can you can argue that the person would have attacked you if you didn't strike first. So strike first, strike hard, some mercy, like Cobra Kai, the new Cobra Kai. Ellis is still they're still cool. Peter the Pigs says, "Can I get a ride?" Yeah, ask your mother. She gives all of us a ride. Crisco Country Life says, "Hi, how's everything doing?" Just hit the like. Thank you, appreciate it. Again, guys, if you see a hype button on the screen, please press that. That is better than a like. It will actually elevate the status of my platform. I need some water too. Oy vey. Ella says, when you were talking about the war, I'm I'm actually getting bombed. It's kind of scary. There's like fires everywhere, but I'm kind of used to it. Wait, where are you located? Are you overseas? Because that's you're making light of something that's very uh serious and dangerous. Sack Pyro says, "Massive, make America straight again." I know, right? Like Gen Z is the most LGBTQ friendly generation. man. And they hate you pulling their card on that. Like they want to be all about that rainbow life, but then when you pull their card, then they get upset about it. Like you can't have it both ways. Well, I guess they can have it both ways. That's why they LGBTQ. But but yeah, it's like you can't be all in raging support for them and then get your your knickers in a bunch when someone calls you out on it. So I don't know. JD Gaming 915 says everyone like his video. He's the best YouTuber. Appreciate that. Thank you. And everyone thinks I'm mean. I'm not mean. The people that I roasted literally came into the stream trying to, trying to troll me, and then they feign offense. They when when I pulled their card and roasted them. It's like I don't roast people just to roast them. Like I roasted them because they were trolling. Like why would I roast a nice person in my stream? Like Sack Pirates was just signing a petition, join the massive. She's anyway. I gotta go. Sorry, but I sub. Well, I appreciate the sub a lot. And if you are somewhere where there's some sort of airstrikes or something going on, I hope you stay safe. But have a great day or evening, depending on where you are. Cole Brickle says hi. What's up? Give me 1 second. Good folks. All right, I'm back. And question: when I go off, can you guys still see my image when I go off screen? Can you ask some advice? Well, it's asking me anything Monday, so yes, you can. Sorry, I'm actually typing right now, but I have the screen. I didn't take the screen down this time, so I'm sure you guys can see me. Hold on. Let me move the screen. Boom. There we go. He said no, sir. So let me get to your question in a second. Sack Pirate says I was in a war zone, had to pee, and this dead guy was in front of me. He was almost covered in snow, and I peed on the snow, and it melted the snow off the guy's face. Wait, what? See, for some of you guys, I don't know if you're joking or not. Um, uh, if you're in a war, so if you're in a combat zone, you should have just held it first of all. But if you're gonna, but if you're gonna, well, never mind. I was gonna say something, but I forget. I'm assuming you're a civilian. You're not a trained soldier, so never mind. What I was about to say. So Cold Brickles 8219 says, "How do I know if I strayed too far from God?" So that's ironic because I attempted to do a live stream last week on this very matter, and no one, literally, I had no, other than a few trolls that came briefly into the stream, literally no one participated in the live stream. So it only lasted 20 minutes and I ended it because there was no one participating. So I wasn't going to drag on a live stream for a whole hour where there was no participation in my chat room. Um, so the topic was, uh, can someone who lost their faith or never have faith gain or regain that faith? Um, and I didn't have a set answer for that question. I was gonna kind of let the stream lead wherever it led, and then I would from there, you know, have some thoughts on it. But it again, but what you're saying, it it varies, right? I hate I hate to not give you what seems like a straightforward answer, but the actual answer is it depends because there's so many factors involved when you said stray too far from God. Are we talking about the Judeo-Christian God for one? Two, I don't know what from what um, denomination or faith you follow. Even within it, like I said, even within a certain denomination, there are many different interpretations of that faith under that denomination. um, so I wouldn't be able to tell you, and I myself also, just to you know to put all my cards on the table here, I am atheist, so you may be asking the wrong person, but at least I'm going to be genuine with you. All right. Um, so I mean, one question is, do you want to go back to that faith? That's one question you should ask: is does it even benefit you to go back to that faith, or is it more just a sense of guilt? Two, if it is that you do desire to be spiritually connected in that way with God or your however you see God. I don't know again which faith or denomination you follow. Um, I would if you're struggling with that, I would probably ask someone uh, from that faith who is a who is sort of a leader in that in that faith. So if say like if you're Catholic, then you might want to go, talk with the priest. Um, similar if similar advice if you're, you know, Episcopalian or Eastern Orthodox, and I think Coptic church as well. But if you are more of a, Protestant, so even still, you can still, if you used to go to a certain church, many of those church leaders do hold hours where you can actually reach out to them and talk to them. I would probably do that because I can't give you spiritual advice on here because I don't know enough of the situation, nor your faith, nor nor the motivation behind you losing it or wanting to regain it. The faith that I can give you like really concrete advice more than what I've told you. I hope that helps though. Cole Brickle says, Sack, what was your MOS, brother? Talk to Khaleesi says, I never use protection, never pull out. I mean, that's all right if you want to walk around with herpes and HPV, chlamydia and gonorrhea, uh, looking like I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, that's look, that's between you and your genitals. And but if you are spreading STIs to people, hey. But what I will say is you're not going to sit there and flood my chat room with nonsense. So you might need a little timeout where so you can collect your little neurodivergent thoughts because I'm pretty sure you're on the spectrum. David Farnham 237 says, "Be me, please." I don't even know what that means. Carolyn Hunt says, "Hi, what's up?" Zach Pyro says the snow was covering the guy's face. Again, I don't know whether you're joking or not, but again, that's weird thing to just that's a weird thing to like bring up in the chat room. Not to mention that was also a weird thing to have done. Like of all the places to pee, you decided to pee on the body of someone who was deceased in a combat zone, like that. None of that makes sense, and I have a hard time believing that's a real thing, unless you are coming from a perspective again of someone who actually was in the military. Then again, the question is going to be why, like why would you do that? Again, as a civilian, I expect civilians to be stupid during times of during times of crisis, like in a combat situation. But someone who is trained, I would think that's weird. I don't know. Fisherman 6452 says, "Have you played Red Dead Redemption 2?" No, I'm not a gamer, so I haven't really played any recent games. So partially that's the problem. I couldn't hold it any longer. No, I get that. I think we all got that. The issue is your choice of location. That's unless you're saying that it melted it and you didn't know that the person was under the snow prior to you relieving yourself, then yeah, I get that. Lily's dash two to D207C says hi. So David Farnham says Bammy. Your wish is my command. Because you definitely are on a spectrum. Maxie Honey 17 says I'm just a God fearing woman, and there's nothing wrong with that. Cole Brickles 8219 says I was a Baptist growing up, but after the military, drugs, lust, I feel like I lost myself and felt like I lost my connection to God. I think you probably would benefit from psychological therapy, uh, and probably reconnecting with your faith, because obviously the faith wasn't there's something else under there's something else underwriting your your behavior. Hype man dash 17 says you look like you work at the hotel John Wick goes to. Yeah, I wish I was a hitman. Sometimes I do wish I was a hitman. It would help. That would be therapeutic. He said, "Can you say you're checking Mr. Wick with a British accent?" Uh, drop if you want to drop a little super chat or a super gift in here. Well, not super gift, sorry, super chat or a gift, like those little jewels on the screen. Then I'll affect a RP accent as best as I can. He's saying a British accent as if there's not like 100 different British dialects, which yes, there literally are like about 100 different British dialects within the British Isles. Um, was when people hear say British accent, usually they mean the RP accent, the received pronunciation dialect, which is like the dialect of wealthy Brits. Then there's the BB. There's something else as well, the BB so-called BBC English, which is more of like a refined dialect for those who are educated and middle class, but not of the wealthy elite. Duotron says HRCN is okay, cool. Okay, so this this individual says from username gain to maintain 349 says, yo homie, I need help badly. I've been viewing your streams for a while now. Cap, I call cap on that because I've never seen your username before, so that's complete cap. Anyway, I just caught my girl cheating on me with Ric Flair again. Cap, I don't know what to do. I'm heartbroken because I love this girl and it's Ric Flair. Cap, 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 and cap. You love a boy. Everything you said is gay. You love boys. A 70-year-old man ain't didn't take your bitch because you don't have a bitch. You have a dude. and you never watched my streams before. So get your faggot ass off of here. Anyway, Dualtron says business, baby. Yeah, okay, Dualtrons. Jeffrey Cruz 145 says hi from the VA. That's what's up. What part of VA? Uh, half of my family is from VA. Well, my father's side of the family, they're all from VA. Um, and they're from my my grandfather's side is from a part of Virginia that no one's ever heard of unless you literally from the area from Rockfish. Even people from VA have never heard of Rockfish, Virginia. But his side of the family is from Rockfish, Virginia. We even have a lot of family land out there, which basically my father is hoarding, so I don't even fuck with it. Um, and then my grandmother's side, uh, paternal grandmother, she is um, from Charlottesville, Virginia, um, directly outside of the Jefferson family plantation. So, and yes, we're related to him. But yeah, so that whole side. So Bassett, what county is that in? Henry County. Okay, not sure if Henry County. So I think Rockfish is in Nelson County. So I get them confused because the it's the county over that. So Rockfish is a small town in I think Nelson County, Virginia, and it's like all the people are leaving. Like all the young people have gone for the most part, except like the really young people. But like probably by the time they hit like 18 or whatever, they leave. They go across to the corresponding county, usually to like Charlottesville or wherever, or they go to like North Virginia, or they just leave the state. But yeah, Rockfish is not a well known place. I liked it when I was growing up though. It taught me like because there was nothing to do. Uh, it could have it made it got boring at times. But the thing is, and I'm sorry to put on my little psychology cap right now, but boredom is good for kids. Kids don't live with boredom today, and it shows, which is why they have no attention spans. Boredom teaches people to use their imagination. It teaches patience, and it teaches them to use their attentional resources in a more effective manner. And kids don't have to do that because they always have a device in their hand. Like there's literally like 2 year olds with iPads, which is just tragic because the brain is still pruning, going through a neural wiring at that time. And when you give young kids under the age of 6 uh, digital screens, it will cause them permanent. Well, well, not all, not all the time permanent, but it will often cause attentional deficits, which can be permanent, which means you're literally messing up the wiring in their brain at the time. But anyway, off of that. So Ribbit 667 says, "Hi, what's up, Ribbit?" Um, I think another thing I might do with these live streams, I might start trying to bring more people onto my streams to have conversations. I think that would keep things moving a little bit more swimmingly, especially when the chat room dulls a bit. What time is it? 8:15. Getting late for me. Getting late because I get up early, and I'm thinking of catching a bite to eat. Uh, yeah. Well, anywho, I hope that advice helped out for uh for Cole Brickles. And I'm sorry I couldn't be more specific, but like I said, just not knowing enough about your situation, that's as best of information I could give you. and I can't, you know, being that I'm a non-religious person, I might have been the not the best person to ask, but I do think you should probably also. I think you should seek, and that's not to be funny, but I think you should probably seek psychotherapy because I think there's something more. Um, I think there's something more internal going on with you that led to the loss of faith and the drug use and the lust, all that sort of stuff. I think if you don't address those fundamental um, psychological issues, then simply running back to the church is not going to help because those issues are going to follow you wherever you are, whether you're in a church, whether you're at home, whether you're at work, whatever. Sample BS too. Well, that's already a quite a interesting username, but he says, "What are your thoughts on the environmental cluster toxicity and how that affects the Alaskan hemisphere?" Don't know. I'm pretty sure that's not a genuine question. Like, says, "Hello, how are you cheating?" Sorry, chatting. What do you mean? How am I chatting? That Samuel says, "Me neither." I mean, it's it's not that I don't know. It's not that I don't know how to answer it. I don't understand the question. Like, I don't think what I was saying, Sample BS too, is I don't think you phrased the question well. Plus, I can't stand when people say, "What are your thoughts on something?" That's a personal pet peeve of mine because I've told my friends that because when they ask me stuff like that, they're like, "What are your thoughts on such and such?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What are my thoughts?" Like, ask it. That's my pet peeve. Rather say I'd rather people just asking me a specific question than say, "What are your thoughts on X, Y, and Z?" Because that is really a pet peeve of mine. Like, I'm not going to give you like a dissertation on some subject. Like, it's like asking me a specific question and I can give you a specific answer. But when people say, "What are your thoughts?" Like, they ask that, like, to me it's like you want me to give a dissertation on some subject. Like, I don't do that. So that's always been a pet peeve of mine. X38784 says, "Isn't being a contrarian a bad thing?" Not necessarily, but I'm not actually a contrarian. Again, I don't expect people to notice since they haven't watched any of my other videos, including the very first video that you can click on as soon as you go to my channel. It's my very first video that describes why I call myself just a contrarian. I'm not actually a contrarian. It's a tongue-in-cheek name referring to the basically referring to the fact that when you question other people on something or you don't agree with them on something which they think everyone should just accept, they call you a contrarian. But that's not what a contrarian means. A contrarian is someone who just takes the opposite of whatever is the majority viewpoint. I don't do that. But often people will just dismiss anyone who disagrees with them as just a contrarian, and that's where I got the name, just a contrarian. So, Candy says, "Hey, Unc, what's up?" But yeah, I'm not a contrarian. I consider myself someone who uses critical thinking skills, logic, reason, evidence, data, facts, statistics, what have you. Unfortunately, we live in a society that promotes anti-intellectualism and where a lot of people practice collective stupidity. In other words, like, people will just be happy to agree with one another, um, even on profoundly dumb things. just to be in in conformity with each other, which has been something that's been studied in social psychology for a long time. Um, Especially after World War II, like there was a lot of studies on um, obedience to authority and social conformity and stuff like that. Um, but in any case, I'm not, again, just a contrarian is just a tongue in cheek sort of uh, username, because people who exercise critical thinking skills will often be just dismissed as contrarians. Before I go, I will be back. Um, I'll do another Ask Me Anything tomorrow, Tuesday, a little earlier though. But I'm gonna run. I have some errands to do, and it's just there's only three folks in the chat room right now, so I think you guys will be good. You can jump onto another live stream and go there. Peace out.